3, Lesson 3, Multiply decimals by whole numbers. So this matches with page 190 in your math book, the Got It questions A, B, and C. In your foldable for page 190, you have a decimal times a whole number. These are the three things you have to keep in mind. So the first one is you have to put the number with the most digits on top. Then after you get to the answer, you will count the total number of digits after the decimal point in the problem, and your answer has to have the same number of digits. You'll use 0 to fill in any places. So Got It question A is 5 times 0.25. 5 is only one digit. 0.25 is 3. So we're going to put the 0.25 on top times 5. Then we will multiply like we normally would. 5 times 5 is 25. Put a 5 down, carry a 2. We're going to multiply 5 times 2 makes 10, plus 2 is 12. And we can carry a 1. 5 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is 1. Now, the problem has 2 digits after the decimal point in the first one, no digits after the decimal point in the second number, so our answer needs to have 2 digits after the decimal point. So that's 1, 2, and that's where our decimal point will go, 1.25. There's 2 digits after the decimal point in this factor. There's nothing after the decimal point after the 5, so 2 plus 0 is 2. Question B, 8 times 4.47. 4.47 has more digits, so we're going to put that number on top. So 4.47 times 8. And the 8 has to go underneath the 7. 7 times 8 is 56. Carry the 5. 8 times 4 is 32. Plus 5 is 37. Carry the 3. 8 times 4 is 32. Plus 3 is 35. Notice I do not write a decimal point until after I finish multiplying. There are 2 digits behind the decimal point at this number, the 4 and the 7. And there are no digits after the decimal point with the 8, because there isn't one we can see. So our answer needs 2 digits after the decimal point. We start at the back and count 1, 2, and here's our decimal point. Our answer is reasonable because 4.47 is like 4, and 4 times 8 is 32. 35.76 is close to 32. That's how Lesson 2's concept of estimating can help you when you go find the exact answer. Got it to problem C, 9 times 2.63. We're going to, again, put the 2.63 on top because it has the most number of digits. And then we will put the 9 under the bottom. 9 times 3 is 27, carry a 2. 9 times 6 is 54, plus 2 is 56. Write our 6, carry the 5. 9 times 2 is 18. 18 plus 5 is 23. 2 digits after the decimal point, no digit there. 2 digits total. 0 plus 2 is 2. So we start from the back and we count 1, 2. 23.67. 2.63, we can round to 3. 3 times 9 is 27. This number is close to 27, so our answer is reasonable. Now, with problems like D, notice there's more zeros this time, and that is okay. We have to add zeros once we get to our answer. We're still going to start with the number with the most digits on top, which in this case is the 0.02 times 3. Okay. 2 times 3 is 6, and there's nothing else to multiply by. So there's 2 digits after the decimal point. There are no digits with the 3. Our answer needs 2 digits, but we only have 1. So this is where we still have to count 1, 2. We put our decimal point here, and we're going to fill in this blank with 0, our wonderful hero, okay? Use 0 to fill the places so your answer has the same number of decimal points. Okay. Question E. If I were to ask you what number we would put on top, you should tell me the 0.12 because it has more digits. So 0.12 times 8. 8 times 2 is 16. Carry the 1. 8 times 1 is 8 plus 1 is 9. Okay. Now we have 2 numbers after the decimal point in this one, 1, 2. 0 numbers with 8 after the decimal point, so our answer needs 2 digits after the decimal. So that's 1, 2. Okay. We can add the 0 in the front if we'd like. We can also do the same in the front of D, okay, but it's 0.6 or 0.06 and 0.96. Okay. Now F. So 0.045 times 11, we're going to put our 0.045 at the top times 11. Now, when you're multiplying by a 2-digit number, you have to take it 1 digit at a time, and you start on the right. So 1 times 5 is 5, 1 times 4 is 4, 1 times 0 is 0, 1 times 0 is 0. Okay. Now we have to put the 0 here to hold the place, because now we're multiplying by this number. So when we multiply by the number in the ones place, or to the furthest right, we start, we start with our answers here. If we move one box over, we have to fill in that space with a 0. I will send a video that shows multi-digit multiplication without decimals right after I upload this video. So 5 times 1 is 5. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 0 is 0. 1 times 0 is 0. And once we get these rows done, we will add these numbers together. So 5 plus 0 is 5. 4 plus 5 is 9. 0 plus 4 is 4, and then we have these other zeros, which we may not need. We need to figure out how many decimal points, or how many digits after the decimal point in our problem, our answer. So there's 1, 2, 3 in this number. There are none in 11, so our answer needs 3 numbers after the decimal point. So that is 1, 2, 3. And this is where our decimal point goes. So 0.495. Those are got it questions on page 190 and page 191. And all of that information needs to get into your foldable. But now we're going to look at guided practice problems inside of your book. So I'm on page 192 on the guided practice problems. So there are no boxes here. And it says to multiply, so we're not doing an estimate, we're finding an exact answer. Okay. So problem number 1, we're going to put the 2.7 on top because it has more digits. 2.7 times 6. 6 times 7 is 42. Put a 2, carry our 4. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 plus 4 is 16. There's one number here, a 7. There's nothing after the decimal point with 6, so we need 1 digit after our decimal, so our answer is 16.2. Question number 2, 1.552 times 3. 0.52 times 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 5 is 15. We have 2 digits here. None here, so our answer needs 2 numbers after our decimal. So we're going to start back here and count 1, 2, and that's where our decimal point goes. 1.56. Okay, question 3. We're going to start with our longest number on top. 5 times 9 is 45. 5 times 0 is 0 plus 4 is 4. Okay, we have 2 digits after this decimal, none after that one, 1, 2. And we can put the 0 in the front, so 0.45. Question 4. Start with our longest number, 0.027 times 4. 7 times 4 is 28. Carry a 2. 4 times 2 is 8. Plus 2 is 10. So we put a 0, carry a 1. 4 times 0 is 0. Plus 1 is 1. So we have 1, 2, 3 numbers after the decimal point, and then no numbers after the decimal point. So our answer needs 3, because 3 plus 0 is 3. And keep in mind, this time we're multiplying by whole numbers, so there is nothing after the decimal point on one of the numbers we multiply. So 1, 2, 3, and we can put the 0 in the front. So 0.108. Question number 5, 0.071 times 8. 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 7 is 56. Carry the 5. 8 times 0 is 0, plus 5 is 5. So we need 3. 1, 2, 3. None. So we need 3 in our answer. All right. 1, 2, 3. So 0.568. Question 6. This one is being multiplied by a 2-digit number. We're still going to start with our longest number on top. Okay. 8 times 5 is 40. Carry our 4. 8 times 6 is 48. Plus 4 is 52. Carry our 5. 8 times 0 is 0, plus 5 is 5. Then we put a 0 here, or even an X to hold that place. Because the first time we multiplied by 8, the second time it's like we're multiplying by 10, because that's the 10 of 18. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 6 is 6. And then we add these two rows together, so that's 0, 7, and 11. We have 1, 2, 3 numbers after the decimal point, and then none here. So our answer needs 3 digits. Okay, notice I finish all of my multiplication before I start figuring out where my decimal point should be placed. So I start from the back and I count 1, 2, 3. So that ends up being 1.170. Question 7. A bee hummingbird has a mass of 1.8 grams. How many grams are 6 hummingbirds and a 4-gram nest? Okay, so this is 2 steps. The first step is finding out how much the bees are, the hummingbirds are. So there's 1.8 grams in 1 hummingbird, and we have 6 hummingbirds. Okay, and, so this word and is add. So we're going to start by doing 1.8 times 6. 6 times 8 is 48. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 4 is 10. 1 number, 0 numbers, so 1 in our answer, so that's here. So we have 10.8 plus the weight of the nest. So remember, when we are adding decimals, we have to line up our decimal point. So then we end up with 14.8. So 14.8 grams. So again, for this problem, we have 1 hummingbird is 1.8 grams, and we have 6 of them. So 1.8 times 6, that gives us the weight in grams of the hummingbirds, plus the 4 grams for the nest. So this is the hummingbirds plus the weight of the nest is going to give us the total number of grams. Okay. Now, question 8. Jassim buys 12 pencils for 0.86 AED each. He pays with a 10 AED or 10 dirham bill. How much change will he receive? So change is a subtraction word, so eventually we'll subtract. We also have this word each, that's for 1. So we are going to do 0.86 times 12. Okay. And I'm going to move over here into this space because there's a little more room. So 0.86 times 12. 2 times 6 is 12, carry a 1. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 1 is 17, carry a 1. 2 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is 1. Put our 0 to hold the place. 1 times 6 is 6. 1 times 8 is 8. And then we're going to add. So 2. 6 plus 7 is 13. Carry a 1. 1 plus 8 is 9. Plus another 1 is 10. Okay. We have 2 digits there, which means we need 2 digits in our answer. Okay. So the cost is 10.32. Actually, he won't be able to receive change. He is short. So let's say that this problem said it was a 20 dirham bill. Okay. So then we would have 20 minus our 10.32. Remember, I talked to you all about changing the numbers by 1 so we can subtract without having to borrow. So this becomes 19.99. This becomes 10.31. 9 minus 1 is 8. 9 minus 3 is 6. 9 minus 0 is 9. 1 minus 1 is 0. So if it was a 20 dirham bill, then he would receive 9.68 AED in change. He would not be able to pay with a 10 dirham bill because the total is 10.32. Okay. Remember to come to class tomorrow with any questions you may have, but please make sure that your foldable under lesson 3 and page 192 with these problems is filled in. See you tomorrow.